Mandatory and forced vaccines for the coronavirus is on its way. You think that sounds like clickbait? Well, it's not. Some countries already have passed laws that makes it illegal not to get treated if you have the coronavirus, and that includes a future vaccine injection. And not just in some faraway country either. Major Western countries are now implementing these laws. So how did this happen so quickly? And more importantly, how did all of this happen when we don't even have the actual vaccine to inject people with in the first place? That and much more coming up in today's video. Alright, so the headline from this The Guardian article reads, Europe's COVID predicament. How do you solve a problem like the anti-vaxxers? Well, it turns out that a bunch of different countries have now found the solution to that problem. All you do is make it illegal to resist getting the vaccine. So different countries have different laws when it comes to the government and national health emergencies. And although in most of these countries, the new laws about forcing vaccines on people are not illegal, it sure makes people a little nervous. How about the people who are rejecting vaccines because of their beliefs? Or how about the fact that all vaccines comes with a set of risks, and some people are just not willing to take those risks? Well, that's no longer a problem for these governments because they just implement new laws about it. Remember that we don't yet have a vaccine anywhere in the world that we know for sure works. One of the many promising companies, Merck, that is behind a potential vaccine, well, their CEO, he's saying that 12 to 18 months is a very aggressive target. That means that they are creating new laws about forcing on you a vaccine injection without even having a vaccine yet. So Denmark, my beloved country, is one of these countries that are right now passing laws about a forced vaccine. So let's read from this article from the local.dk. It says, Denmark rushes through emergency coronavirus law. And it goes on to read, Denmark's parliament on Thursday night unanimously passed an emergency coronavirus law which gives health authorities powers to force testing, treatment, and quarantine with the backing of the police. The far-reaching new law will remain in force until March 21, when it will expire under a sunset clause. I was touched when I saw the whole parliament standing up and voting for this, Health Minister Magnus told Danish state broadcaster DR after the law passed. It is time to put aside party politics and be together to do what it takes to bring Denmark safely through the situation. Jens Ole Rytter, law professor at Copenhagen University, said the measures were unlike anything passed in the last 75 years. It is certainly the most extreme since the Second World War, he told Jyllandsposten newspaper. There have been some powerful encroachments in various terror packages, but this goes further. Trine Maria Ilsø, DR's court correspondent, said that Danish citizens could face prosecution under the new law if they refuse to comply with health authorities' demands. It means that you could be sentenced to a punishment if you, for example, refuse to allow yourself to be tested for coronavirus, she said. And the final part here, the Ministry of Health will now work with the Ministry of Justice on the details of how the police will work with health officials to enforce their demands. Now, I understand these are unique times, but to me that sounds a bit scary. Look, people are worried that in these times governments are going to use their extended authorities to gain more power. There's even been an increase in drones enforcing laws like some dystopian nightmare in countries across Europe and even in the States. Combine that with governments that can now force you to take injections for a virus, and you can kind of begin to see why people are getting a little nervous. We're not talking about some zombie apocalypse here. We're talking about a virus that kills way less than we thought it would in the beginning. I mean, I live in Denmark and it might sound weird to you, but we have a very high level of trust in the government. So I don't want it to sound bigger than it actually is, and I don't want to fearmonger, but where exactly are you supposed to set the line? And even though countries are different, most countries agree that you can override personal freedoms for the sake of the national health. If there's a national health emergency, basically in the constitution of most countries, your liberties and your freedoms goes out the window. So technically, these laws are not illegal, and in a singular way, they aren't really scary. But when you combine them up, I think they're taking us in a step in a direction to a path where we don't really want to go down. All right, gentlemen. Leave your thoughts in the comment section below. I really enjoy when we exchange ideas. And remember to subscribe to the channel so you don't miss out on the daily videos. Thank you so much for watching the full video, and I'll see you guys tomorrow.